We're here with Bryan Casler from Iraq Veterans Against the War. And Bryan, you have an experience of standing up in front of hundreds of Marines. I'll let you tell more, but tell us more about that.
So, I don't know, maybe 6-8 months ago, I got a reactivation order from the United States Marine Corps. And I had to make a choice whether I was going to fight this one way or try to fight it the Marine Corps' way. And I figured, well, I might as well give it the Marine Corps' way. I might be able to keep my benefits. So I had 3 days notice that I had to report to Kansas City, Missouri. I got it like on a Wednesday, and I had to be on a flight on Friday. So I hopped on this flight, went down there, and we went in the airport, and we got bused to Marine Corps Mobilization Command, MOBCOM. And it was really like shocking because just on the bus, I was already seeing people that were in my unit, and I hadn't seen them since I've been out, heard anything about, what they've been doing since they got out of the Marine Corps, and it was like a reunion of sorts, but like under the worst circumstances. So, anyways, we had 250 guys. We were the first wave of people to be reactivated after the president authorized over 1,000 Marines to be IRR, individual ready reserve Marines to be activated, and we had these large briefings. We would get trucked down to this auditorium, and like I said, there's 250 of us, and we're sitting in this auditorium getting a brief from generals and master gunnery sergeants and corpsmen and military family readiness, and all these different people were briefing us. And I don't know if it was a 2 or 3 star general, but he stood up talking about what we need to do and how you need to be prepared to be reactivated, and you need to get your stuff in order. And then I had these sweaty palms because I knew I was going to be that guy to speak my mind. And he was like, "Does anyone have any questions?" And I put up my hand. I don't remember if I was the first person to be called on. I'm going to guess I was. I think I was, because I was pretty eager. And I just stood up and I was like, "Sir, isn't this absolute bullshit that you guys are reactivating us by threatening that you're gonna retroactively remove our honorable discharge, loss of GI Bill, loss of the VA healthcare system, all military benefits? Like, what is right about that? I want to know what you think about that." And it was an awkward silence, right? And everyone was waiting to see what the general did. And he went into this long spiel about how, because Iraq attacked us on 9/11, which we all know is false, that we had to go fight them over there, so we didn't fight them over here, and all these things that had nothing to do with my questions, and he completely sidestepped it. So, I mean, the real shocking part was after I did this, it was either 2 or 3 other veterans stood up. And I had one friend, he got out, and he's suffering from severe PTSD, and he stood up and he was like, who's going to send me back? I have PTSD. Who's going to send someone like me back, put a rifle in my hands, put me on the street, and tell me to go, patrol and lead Marines again? How do you expect me to do that? Who in their right mind would tell me to go do that? And this senior Navy corpsman, he was like an HM something, he stood up and he was like, "I would send you." And we're just all like, that's bullshit, man. That hoorah, motivate, like, you need to die for the Corps, even if it's wrong. Like, there was no thought process. It was all "I, sir." And this order came down, and nobody ever questioned it. And here were these leaders in front of me not questioning anything, and we were telling them what was inherently wrong with this. And they didn't have any other answer than some textbook answer that, was told to them probably by some higher command. And I mean, it was absolutely ridiculous. But afterwards, I got, I'm around a bunch of infantry. It was a lot of infantry guys out of these 250. I got surrounded by probably we'll say 6 or 7 guys. And they all start questioning me. "Oh, you're this and that." And even if, whatever, that was disrespectful to that general. And I was like, no, first off, it was open questions. And more importantly, it's disrespectful to threaten my honorable discharge. I did 4 years. You want to take that away from me? That's disrespectful. That's a stab in the back if I ever had one. So I stood my ground pretty viciously, and these guys started running out of arguments with me, and they resorted to the old bully on the playground. Well, you're stupid, and if we're in the same unit, you better watch your back. And then I went, really? Are you threatening me? Because that's ridiculous. Because I will be covering your back. It's not about politics when we're over there. It's about watching out for everybody. And because you don't like what I view, you're not gonna protect me the same. Like, you're not gonna look out for my welfare, because I'll be looking out for yours. Because it's not about that. We can have political differences and different views on the war and everything. And I'm like, are you serious? And he really calmed down after that when I just showed him how ridiculous some of these statements he was making were. But then a few of his buddies started to pick back up, and out of nowhere, like 4 guys came over, and they're like, hey man, don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. Man, you had the guts to say what a lot of us were thinking, but none of us said it. And then more people came over, and they all started saying, good on you for saying it. And the cool thing was, like, they were like, even if I don't agree with what you're saying, like, you have the right to say it, man. You got to say it. Someone's got to say it, because if you're thinking it, you're not the only one out of 250 Marines that are thinking this. So it was really cool. But even the cooler part was, I later found that the way they reactivate people is by regions. So these 250 guys, a lot of them are from where I live, and when I'm back at Monroe Community College, which has a veterans population of close to 300, like every month I'd have a guy come up to me in the hall and be like, hey, you were that guy that stood up to the general, right? Hey, man, it's awesome. And all these guys, they got their deferments. They got what was rightfully theirs. They don't have to go back and serve. But it was really amazing, I think, because I haven't heard from any of the other reactivations, but I hope word of what I did there spread and people had some courage and stood up and actually spoke their mind for something they believe in, something that's right fighting for. But yeah, I mean, that's a great memory. And I was paid to do it, by the way. The Marine Corps was paying me to be there to put them in their spot.
Thank you.